Hey friends, I had something happen to me over the weekend that I thought I might share with you all. It is impossible to believe, but somehow the holidays are upon us. I walked into a major hardware store over the weekend to try to get a new fall garden flag for my yard because last week was the first week of fall, and I walked in and actually froze because it was Halloween on my left and Christmas on my right, and I thought, what is happening right now? But whether we like it or not, the holidays are kind of rushing in. And one thing that might come up for you guys if you have kids is the subject of Christmas presents. How are we talking about Christmas presents in September? But we are. I've actually already had a few family members who've approached me about some things. So here we are. There's a lot of things that come up during the holidays. We're going to address a lot of them here, but let's go ahead and get started with this one since it's what's come up for me recently. The issue is one of someone asking to buy your child a present for Christmas, and your first thought is hard pass. Definitely no. I'm not comfortable with that. No, definitely not happening. Here's what I would encourage you to do as a response. What you should keep in mind is that if this person has approached you about buying something for your children, one, they obviously love your children and care about them and want them to have a great Christmas. Two, they've thought about this. Maybe they thought of it off the top of their head. And if you two are just sitting around and they say, oh, I just had this idea, what do you think about this? You could easily go, I'm not really thrilled about that idea for whatever reasons. But if they've come up to you specifically and said, hey, I had this idea, I was thinking about this, what do you think of it? I wouldn't shoot it down immediately, even if in your mind you're thinking, there's no way in the world I would be okay with that. Because they've obviously spent time thinking about it, mulling it over. They've probably researched it. They've probably imagined your child playing with it. And for them to say, what do you think? And you just say, no way. It could hurt their feelings. It could really take the wind out of their sails and make them kind of crush their spirits a little bit. And you don't want to do that, especially when they're trying to do something so nice for your kids. So if somebody brings up something to you, the first check I would do in my head is there something similar to this that I would be okay with? If whatever it is, maybe it's a certain video game they want to get your child that's rated too old in maturity, and that's the reason that it's a hard pass, is that the content is too mature. They might not know, they may not realize about the rating system and all of that. I can't tell you how many times I have attempted to explain to my beautiful, wonderful 87-year-old grandmother that if the cartoon says Adult Swim at the bottom, it is not appropriate for small children to be watching. So there could just be something educationally there that's missing, and you could easily say, a video game would be a great idea. That particular one has content in it that's too mature that I'm not comfortable with, but they've been thinking about this one. What about that? What would you think about getting them that one? That's an easy way to shift it over into something that is appropriate. Maybe there's not an equivalent. Maybe it's just something that's so out there that you just can't think of an alternative. Although I would encourage you to try to. There's probably something that's similar enough that you would be happy with and they would feel is in the same idea. Maybe they want to get your kid a basketball goal, but your kid doesn't like basketball, but maybe they really need new football equipment. And you could say, they tried basketball before, they really weren't that into it, but they really need this and they would be so excited to get that. You can hopefully find a way to twist it, but even if you can't, or even if you can't in the moment, I would at least encourage you to say, well, let me think about it and get back to you. Because at least the person will feel that you have given it consideration, and it will make it hurt their feelings a lot less when you do eventually say no, that they feel like you at least considered it. And it will also buy you time to think of something different that they could do instead, that you could present to them later. Even if you can't think of it in the moment, maybe you could go home and do a little research, find something that would be similar enough, and present that to them. Because a lot of times people have certain gifts that they like to give. So if they're a person who likes to give experiences, and the experience that they thought of just doesn't jive with you for whatever reason, maybe it's too far away, or maybe it's something you're not interested in, or maybe it's something the kids used to be interested in, but they're not anymore. Maybe there's another experience that they could do. So keep that in mind too, that there are certain gifts that people enjoy giving. Some people like to give experiences. Some people like to give big ticket items. Some people like to give something that would be memorable or cherished. Other people like to give the big, loud, fun gift. They just want to give the big, attention-grabbing gift. So keep that in mind when you're giving alternate suggestions, because if you can come up with something that they want to give, they're going to be totally on board with it. So there's my first holiday tip for you guys. Be on the lookout. I've got lots more coming. Bye.